All right, Leafs talk. JD Bunkis, Sam McKee. Tavares night, buddy. It was all about John Tavares tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is a weird one because I'm disappointed that they lost. I
Mhm.
clearly wanted the Leafs to grab it for their captain, especially once he got the milestone. But it felt good watching Tavares stick it to the Bluebirds with a greasy point to get the Leafs into overtime.
Yeah, I'm very conflicted on this one, buddy. It was an amazing moment, and for him to have that happen in Long Island, have all his teammates go on the ice or whatever and celebrate, it just all felt too rushed. Felt so rushed because it's a tying goal right at the end of the game. It's the elation of the moment of actually tying the hockey game. Then all of them coming onto the ice immediately, and then them having to reset, go into overtime, and then losing immediately. It just all felt very, very rushed.
Mhm.
But this is a feather in his cap that he can look back on or whatever. But I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't soured a little bit by the loss. No, like
Yeah, of
you're not
course.
feeling that at all.
Yeah, like I said, it's funny because I was pretty. I don't want to say I was disengaged for a lot of this game, but I thought that the first two periods were pretty ho hum.
Mhm.
The first I really didn't like for the Leafs. I thought, boy, it's going to be a lot of quiet rides home with the dads in the cars tonight. You know, a lot of why do I even pay? It's expensive. You're going to play like that? I'm going to pay this much money. That was pretty much the first period for the Leafs. I wasn't feeling the overwhelming Tavares investment until it happened, until he ended up actually getting the point. And you saw that the reaction from his dad, where he's so pumped up. But by the way, not to be overly critical here, but can you run that back, Joe? Because
Oh, I know. Here we go.
the
I know
dad
what you're gonna
beside
do.
him can, like,
You know who that
are
is?
you awake?
You know who that is?
Who?
That's Paul Martin.
Wake up, Paul.
Yeah.
Like, wake up. Your team just tied the game, and Tavares is like his son just got his career 1,000th point. It was a weird visual,
Can we
bud. It
give the
was a
guy a
weird
high
visual.
five, maybe? Like maybe give him a hug? Like I thought you were supposed to be
Something
buds. Yeah,
like
it's a
the
weird
whole
one.
hockey team is losing it, and poor Tavares' dad is like on an island up there celebrating it. Like,
Oh,
can we
I
get
didn't
some?
I didn't
Yeah,
know this Jim Treliving in the background. So even
like,
Jimmy's on the trip? Jim
yeah.
Treliving,
Oh,
did he call Kev to come to this one? Did CAA
yeah.
fly him there?
No, buddy, we're not doing any Dragon's Den people right now, okay? Dragon's Den people are banned in this city today. No Dragon's Den content. Yeah, I just thought it was a
Uh,
really sweet moment. I'm glad that he got it
yeah,
on the island because
me
I'll be
too.
honest, I actually thought that for the first couple periods of the game and for the game overall, actually, like the tip was beautiful. The first one, kind of vintage Tavares, good
Mhm,
play by Timmins getting it over there. Maybe it's just me because I'm soft, so I'm projecting, but I
mhm.
kind of felt like Tavares didn't have a lot of force tonight. Like he was a little affected by the boost. He was amazing in the dot, like in the circle, he was incredible. Did he lose a faceoff tonight?
No, and that was the big thing about the tying goal is they had 6-on-5 for probably 2 minutes in that
Mhm.
game, and I think was it 4 draws or was it 3 draws? And he absolutely cleared out whoever he was going up against
Shoveling
for
him back
every draw he had. The other guy
clean.
had no chance. Like he just was like, "I'm a grown man. Here's my puck. I'm taking this from you. You have no chance to do anything with it." So that part of it was sick. But yeah, I thought he was great in the draw. I look like John Tavares. I don't know. I
Mm,
don't think he loves. I don't think. First of all, I don't think he loves the attention. Like I really don't think he likes being
nope.
the center of attention like that. I don't think he has the villain aspect in his body. Like I don't think he's a very villainous guy. He's pretty quiet, as you know. Like he says the same things over and over. He's not really Mr. Personality. So this is like a big personality kind of thing for when you're going into a building where they hate you and you're trying to feed off that crowd. I don't think he loves that. So he hasn't had a ton of success against the Islanders since he left. I looked at it today. I think he has I
Mhm.
think he had 7 points in 11 games heading into tonight, which I look at his numbers against everybody. He's just a point per game against everyone.
Yep.
So that's a smaller sample, but it's below. I don't think he loves this. And I think he takes it to heart. How could you not? Like
Yeah.
in his mind, he gave them everything. He gave them all he hit. He did his full first contract there. He stayed there. He won them a playoff series or whatever. Like, sure, he didn't have the most illustrious career, but he gave him all he had. And in his mind, he's like, I left him free agency. Why do they hate me? And I get why they hate him. So, like, I understand it from all perspectives. But yeah, I would agree that he doesn't love this game and maybe didn't look at his best. But I don't have too many complaints about him.
Buddy, some of the moments where I've been the most pissed at the Leafs have been games where they've no-showed against the Islanders.
The first game back there was like one of the darkest times in Leafs history. Like their first game there was one of the most pathetic efforts ever. Like they did not play for him at all there.
That's what I'm saying. It has driven me a little nuts. Like, say what you will about the guy in terms of what he's actually like as a leader. You mentioned it. The guy chose to come play with that core. He's been a point of game player. He is a model citizen. And I think that, like, maybe he's corny, but he's a good teammate who performs pretty much every level, laces him up, plays a ton, doesn't get injured. He's the first guy in the gym, last guy out kind of thing. And they've had some dog efforts against the Islanders. And that's what I was feeling early on in this game. And I will say it's why I wish they would have got the win, is so that it could have been completely just about Tavares comes home, Tavares gets a goal, he gets the game tying assist, and the Leafs steal a win on the island. Okay, so you hit it though. What is your thought on the Isles fans booing him as he gets 1,000?
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
I would do the exact same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
If I'm an Islanders fan, I'm booing him all throughout. Like, duh. What are you saying? You're not gonna?
No, buddy. I'm gonna boo Shohei Ohtani, and he never played here.
Of course. Like,
there were Shohei Ohtani rumors, and I'm like, I can't believe this guy would betray the Blue Jays like this. So
it's, to me, any Leaf fan, like, you can hate it, you can not enjoy it, but I mean, there's too many. I mean, one of our favorite pastimes as a city is to absolutely eviscerate people when they come back for the first time. That's like one of our favorite things. Like the Vince Carter thing, it united us forever. And like, I know John Tavares was much better of a citizen than Vince Carter. I'm not comparing the two in terms of what they did. John Tavares isn't like, I'm going to stop going backhand. Like, he didn't like say something like that. Like,
he wasn't like, I'm not going to try anymore. I'm going to tell the other team to play this.
Yeah. Like, I get sports hate, and they're real fans there. They're a gritty fan base, and I respect sports grudges straight up. So good on them. I think there was a smattering of applause, but the boos really outweighed it. A lot of Leaf fans there. Did you notice that when they tied the goal and scored the tying goal? I was surprised by the pop of the amount of Leaf fans there. Maybe people there for the Christmas season or whatever. But yeah, it was a good showing for Leaf fans. But yeah, I love them booing them.
I always think it's really hard to tell, because I feel like the camera people go and try to find the Leaf fans.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to tell like what the actual number is. I did have a similar thought. I will say this, in like, to play devil's advocate, I do think, I don't know. I think I would cheer in that spot and give the quick applause. No. It's almost like a break. It's almost like a break of, hey, you got a lot of those points with us. Like, you got a lot of those points for us, and I appreciate them. So here's 2 seconds of clapping, a standing O, but the next time you come into the barn, I'm booing you into oblivion. So I don't think it's like classless or anything. I'm not going to get on my like high horse and be, the Islanders fans are, they're criminals. No, absolutely not. But I thought it was one of those things where, hey, the guy did a lot for your franchise. He got 1,000 points. It's his moment. They also did just tie the game against the Islanders. So, it's kind of the double.
They thought they were going to win. Like, there was 4 seconds left in the game. It's like, I'm supposed to cheer for this guy after he just poured our hearts out. Like, I don't know. I didn't look at Twitter after the game or whatever, but were people still calling him classless?
No, like, I just assume. I will say that, I think, hey, listen, Leafs Twitter and the comment section, whatever. I think you could admit Leafs Twitter can be a little soft at times. Can be a little sensitive.
I don't know what's softer than the Leafs team or the Leafs Twitter. Like, it's a toss up.
I think that there were probably some people that were fake upset about it.
Go show him some love. It's like,
exactly. So whatever. Exactly. It's just a greasy Long Island fans giving it to the guy who left. I
love it. Like, go back to your shanties. Like, they just don't care.
Do you know what part of the reason was, though, that I didn't think Tavares played with a lot of force tonight? I thought this was a bad Marner game, buddy. He had no shots. He was a -1. It was a very, it was kind of a no-show from his line mate.
Well, I thought a lot of their sort of game plan tonight, and I felt it. They've done this before in these kind of situations where people are like close to a milestone. Like, remember when Marner was trying to keep that point streak going. And I don't know who they were playing against, but it was like the empty net thing where he had like 100 shots at the empty net. We're all like cheering for him to get a point to keep like his the streak going or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't one of those people, but yeah.
I remember you being pretty excited about it. Anyways,
but empty nets are, on my position on empty net.
I remember you being pretty excited about it. Anyways, we can move on. This is neither here nor there.
Yeah, I got a banner actually that's out of frame. Marner point streak back. What are you talking about?
I remember you being excited during it last year. I do. Yeah. Anyways, I thought they were forcing it to him. Like I thought they were making bad passes. I thought they were like really, really trying to get it for him. And I think this team has a tendency to do that in these kind of situations. Like I remember when Matthews was close to 60, they were just like overfeeding him on the power play. Like it's just something that they kind of do, which, I kind of love and hate at the same time. And I thought that Marner was turning the puck over a lot tonight. I don't know what his number. I don't know what his number was in terms of turnovers, but like felt like a lot of them were him force feeding it to Tavares. And even on this back play that he makes here where he gets the breakaway and he does the thing that he always that London Knights Junior Mitch thing where he does the drop pass. I think he thought it was Tavares behind him. He didn't he was going to the backhand and he drops it. And I think he thought it was probably Tavares behind him, not Bertuzzi. That's why he does it. But yeah, it was a bit of a bad night for that line in general. I thought outside of the goals.
Yeah. I thought it was a combination of them trying to force it to him.
Yeah.
And Tavares actually trying to be a little too selfless. Like he actually wasn't aggressive enough with the plays. Like it was as though he was trying to get it off his stick a lot of times. I think he finished with only 3 shots tonight. I thought he had more. I think that they screwed him out of some shots, but I also did bet on his shot total as well as his point total tonight. So the point total salvage things because that was a better number. But yeah,
old Sammy stays red hot on old picks on Giver and More. Stay red hot. Oh yeah, I had the Coyotes and Leafs to win with Tavares 2 points. Just another solid night for your boy.
Sammy the Handle just missing all the shots.
Never hit.
Yeah, you're challenging Big Cat for worst gambler.
Buddy, what do you want from me? I don't gamble. I do my best.
I mean, I'm red hot right now. So anyways, you guys can tell me at JD Bunkis on Twitter and Instagram. I thought Matthews was like the actual story. He was a beast. 11 shots a night. He was all over the ice. He had one that goes off of, I think Sorokin gets a piece of it with his glove and then it goes off the bar, but just a monster for the vast majority of this game. Like, again, I thought that the Leafs started slow. I thought that they finished the first period horrifically yet again, where they give up another one that you just hate to give up late. But Matthews was kind of the one constant in this game who was just, he drove the bus tonight.
Yeah, I'd say from the last, just before I moved to Austin, but this power play goal is so gross. Like it is ridiculous the amount of skill that they show here. Like the in tight stuff, it's really remarkable. That's just beautiful goal, tic-tac-toe.
But dialed in.
But I thought from maybe the 5-minute mark in the first period till about the 10-minute mark in the second period, the Leafs completely went to sleep, and ultimately that's what cost them the game. Like they gave up the goal at the end of the second period. And then they give up the goal midway into the second period or so. It's 3-1 or whatever. They fight their way back into it. They tie it late. But ultimately, that stretch of game where I thought they were pretty good in the rest of the game. Like I thought they took the game to them a lot. And like you said, Matthews' line was really, really good. I think they were pretty much the only line that I truly loved tonight. I didn't think the third line has some offensive moments, but man, they're terrible defensively.
Yeah.
The fourth line to me too. They weren't a train wreck, but I didn't think they were as good as they were against crappy Nashville. But yeah. Well, you got a little surprise face here. What happened?
I thought that the fourth line was yet again a train wreck. And there was they got hemmed in a couple of times. And it was the classic, hey, we're going to try to start this in the O zone. It was just a vintage fourth line night where it's like Reeves is on the ice and they get hemmed in and he plays his 8 minutes and then he gets stapled to the bench for the third period because they know he's an unplayable guy. Like I
think you got one shift in the third today.
Yeah. Well, yeah, either way, it's just it's the formula is tried, tested, and true. Like it is what it is. I actually think Kampf is kind of coming around. He just really just feels like he has.
Gregor's really good too, man. Gregor's really good. Like for a fourth line guy, he's exactly what you want.
Buddy, the thing that's kind of, I don't want to say driving me nuts because I don't really have like an overly strong position about it, but there's a lot of people that like pointing to the Klingberg contract, which they were lucky to get out of, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that like to point towards the Reeves signing. I don't feel like Tree gets any credit for the Gregor signing.
Yeah, or Legason or Benoit,
Yeah.
who all three of them are coming in here making nothing and being super, capable contributors in their time of need defensively. Like I thought tonight, they, 3 go in the net. Timmins is a train wreck defensively or whatever, but
That
it's not
turnover
been.
Timmins had in the third period should have been jail.
It's not. It's not Legason killing them, and it's not Benoit killing them. Like those two guys are depth guys that they've signed for nothing and have come in and played well. And like Domi, he is what he is. You're probably getting value on that contract for $3 million. I would say that he's probably been exactly a $3 million player, maybe a little less. I don't really know. And then Bertuzzi, I think, is kind of gone away a little bit here in the last little bit after his hot start, or his hot part of the season in Sweden or whatever.
They screwed up the best line on the team to try to bail out Matthews and Marner. And
they did. They really did.
Like, what did you expect?
They should have kept Bertuzzi with Matthews and Nylander. Anyways, I just think that he doesn't get any credit for Gregor. He doesn't get any credit for Legason. He doesn't get any credit for Benoit, who have all been really good contributors to the bottom half of the lineup. I agree.
The other two guys have been solid, but it's just Gregor has 2 pop plays a game where you're like, holy crap, who is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tonight though, classic Gregor with the hands, gets one in front of the net, tries to go backhand, forehand, and then just shovels it wide. Just, yeah.
He is Grabner reincarnated. Like he is truly the most similar guy to Grabner I can remember in a long time. Like he gets a breakaway, or when he gets the puck on his stick and there's like a little bit of space, you get so excited. And I don't know if he's really, really fast or the rest of the team's really slow. Like I can't figure it out because he just pops out so hard.
I think it's both.
Like they are a slow team.
Yeah.
And it's something that like I really notice with them. Like they are not a fleet of foot team. They are not really fast. So when Gregor gets a puck on his stick, he looks like McDavid. I'm like, oh my God, like somebody get in the way of Gregor. He gets this guy's unbelievable.
They say like you got to teach your kids to skate now, right? Because you can't make the NHL without it. But Gregor should have spent 5 more minutes a day working on his hands. He'd be making 7 sheets. Had he just done a couple more skills camps.
I know.
He was right there. And again, I thought it was another good game for him. But okay, you know what? I think we should circle back to kind of the negative because you're right. It's just sleepy plays early, man. Like 2 defensemen going to the same side of the puck and Marner just kind of staring at it as it comes out in front of the net on one. They have another where it's just getting beat back, where they're just kind of hoping for an icing, and then they're all scrambled and a puck shoots out in front and Paul Mary sets his feet and just rips one. Mm-hmm. Like the goals that went against the Leafs tonight, I thought were all just effort plays, just a lack of attention to detail, a lack of effort through some moments, and it ends up burning them. And like, that's the reason why they lost the game, because they should have won this thing.
They definitely should have won this thing, and it's really good of them to even get a point out of it with that last second tying goal. The point kings continue. They just get points. It's like they have long stretches of games where they don't play well and they get points. That play there that you're just playing where on the 2-1 goal. I know it's a bad visual with Marner, but the fact that the winger on the ice is the only guy that had enough defensive conscience to go to the front of the net. It handcuffs him. It goes through his feet a little bit. It's a weird play.
Has to. There's nobody else back. But
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like he's the winger that's like, that's not his job. He went above and beyond there to go to the front of the net and fill in for 2. Like, what is this? It's terrible defensively. Those guys never play together, so maybe there's just it costs you a goal. So
they had a line change in there too. Like it's a pretty it's a not ugly moment. That one was very pretty. That was gross. Anyway, I was going to ask you about which player that you thought was going to have the quietest ride home with his dad tonight.
Timmins.
Yeah.
Timmins, I think.
He did make the nice play on the Tavares goal. Should be noted.
He made a really good play on the Tavares goal. The first one, obviously, McCabe sent a grenade at him, like a play that's coming across the ice, and he has to fight off a checker. He has to like go towards the boards, makes a good play, fires a nice hard pass into the middle of the ice. Good tip by Tavares, vintage Tavares goal. But he just takes away way more than he gives. Like it's just he tries to make the 1A play every single time. Like I don't know what. It's just like he's got to make the prettiest play or like the hardest play. Like just watch what a defensive defenseman does. Like once in a while, it's okay to go hard off the glass and out. And once in a while, it's okay to circle back and regroup. Like you don't always have to force it. And it just feels like he forces everything. It doesn't feel like he's got very good hockey sense at all. And he can snap a beautiful breakout pass. Don't get me wrong. Like there's parts of his games that like I see why he's enticing, but it just feels like the mental lapse and the turnovers. He takes way more than he gives for me. That's what it comes down to.
I have two final things. Is there anything else you want to do?
What were you going to say?
Well, my next one is I feel like this is 2 games and I haven't had at all of a read on Samsonov. Like,
yeah, I was going to bring up Samsonov.
Just the puck was bouncing off him a lot tonight. Bad rebounds. Didn't feel like he made a big save in the game. Like one where I was like, wow, thank God he made that one. But he was all right, I guess. Like it was. I like that. All I'm saying is it's 2 games, and I don't feel as though we've learned anything about Samsonov despite him having a shutout.
I think he made probably 4 or 5. Did you watch the game Saturday? 4 or 5. Yeah, 4 or 5 saves on Saturday that were better than any save he made tonight. I would say. Yeah. Like there were actually early in that Nashville game, he made a couple saves that I was like, oh, I was surprised he made them coming off fresh. But like, I don't know. I didn't like 2 of the goals tonight. I mean, the one where he's in front of the net and the guy's got a backhand in front of, like he had no chance on that one, but didn't love the Palmieri one. It's from way outside, you get out further, whatever.
Look at the pack Joe put together here. It's like, that one wasn't even a save. That was just him covering up a puck.
The first one was, I don't even know how it went in. It felt like it went right through his glove. So I would say that I think they've gotten 3 points out of the 2 games he's played. So that's a positive. And they just need to continue accumulating points when they're going with him and Martin Jones for however long Wall's out for. But like, I'm not totally discouraged about what I've seen, but I wouldn't exactly say I'm super confident either. Like it feels like it could go sideways at any moment. It's on a knife's edge here, but yeah, like I'd say he was a solid C+ tonight, B-.
Yeah, I didn't think that the Islanders were at all threat. Like what the Islanders even have in the third period shots wise, less than 5. Like they didn't have like any offensive zone time. They didn't threaten whatsoever. He let in. Yeah, he had 4 shots. They had 4 shots in the third period. So like it just felt like he went completely untested in that frame. I will say, if I'm going to be like uber critical about one element of tonight, it felt like he had 0 rebound control. Like I'd love to see on the amount of saves that he made that felt like they were kind of supposed to be in his body that found their way back out into the middle of the ice, and it was a scramble drill after. So would have liked a few more that he could have actually trapped.
That turnover was so bad. That's his best save.
That one was horrific. Thank God that he shot it right into the middle of his chest too, because he was backing up and he looked like if he would have just shot it anywhere other than the crest, that's a goal.
If that's not Cal Clutterbuck, that might be bar down.
Yeah. Like there was a lot of net to look at on that one. And he almost fell into the net. Like he was almost like, I'll just get it to you.
Not to go full Paul Rudd meme here, but look at us. Like you're the Mr. Critical of the goalie, and I'm like, whatever. Like
I thought he was fine.
We've done a bodies Freaky Friday here. I'm like, whatever. Like they've gotten 3 out of 4 points in his 2 games coming off him being sick as a dog. I'll take it.
No, my point is more so. Well, first of all, he was sick as a dog, and I think that his record this season is incredible. So,
and then he got immediately better as soon as the starter got hurt. What a recovery! A miracle of modern science, if you will.
He's got a bunch of wins this year. I just like my thing is I'm curious to see the first game, and I thought we were going to get it tonight because again the Leafs were dogs early, but then they were down 3-1, and I went, oh boy, we're getting the Samsonov test, and then the Leafs completely shut it down like they did against Nashville, and they said we're not letting you stress test this guy. And so my only point here is that it's been 2 games, and I don't feel like we've had to have like a moment or a period that has felt super important to the Leafs where they needed some saves, and he hasn't done it yet. Last thing for me.
Yeah.
Anthem singer.
I missed it. I got home late. Okay. So I was, I would work till 6, a little bit of a TTC skedaddler situation.
You're skedaddler.
Bit of a slow down on the old Blue Line, and I had to make dinner. I got seated right as the puck dropped, basically. So I saw some not so rave reviews about the Anthem singer, but it didn't go so well for him. Him.
She repeated a lot of part. Like she was just kind of taking different parts and throwing them into.
Oh yeah, a little remix.
Yeah,
Remix.
she was remixing. She the tone was off, right?
Oh, it's too bad.
Uh,
I can't.
oh, Tavares, Jobo saying NHL.com updated their shots on goal and give him one more, so he's at 4. So winner,
What's the
winner, chicken
total?
dinner on both those bets, baby boy. Let's
What was the
go.
total? What was the total? You had them over 3.5?
Over 3.5. Yeah,
Oh,
no, the
how
Anthem thing-
exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. Thank you for that update, Joe. This is a clean sweep night for me in the gambling world. So we just have to just hope that the Packers can hold on to the last leg of a different parlay. So yeah, it was just bad. She was really bad and she didn't know the words. And I'm not like a big, I don't like get super upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, they like these anthem singers, they screw up their own anthem sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like they get nervous, they botch it. They obviously hire them to do one or two, and I'm sure this isn't the regular anthem singer, but I will say on the day of Ohtani signing in LA for $5,
What
like,
the hell is that contract?
show some respect, I felt it a little bit more today. I was like, this sucks. Show us respect. All the baseball writers in America going, hey, Canada stinks. It's a dump and it's cold. I wanted her to sing the anthem right. It felt like a personal attack on Tavares and on me.
Do they even like baseball up there? They even like, is there even, how do they even play it when it's winter all year round? Oh, how do they even play baseball? So the last thing I wanted to mention was I had a quick Robertson thought.
Okay.
God, he's trying so hard. He's trying.
He's not doing anything.
He's trying so hard to do things that he thinks the coach will like. You notice that? Like he's trying to finish these checks and he's like back checking as hard as he can. And he's just, there
was one moment where he was in the corner, just like battling, trying to throw hits. And it was hilarious. It looked like a little boy trying to play with men. Like
he's just firing his limbs around. He's just, he's so frenetic. He's so frenetic.
It reminded me of I think I've used this reference before, but when growing up in the Yukon and you play on the provincial team or the territory team, and this is not a brag because there's nobody there, but you'd have to play adults because there's only so many people that you could play, and so you'd have to play these games against like the cops, and the boys would go in the corner and try to get it, and it was like that's what Robinson looks like. Robertson looks like my 15-year-old friend going into the corner with grown men and trying to battle and win a puck. It's like that's what it looks like.
I feel for him. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but
he's just fine. He's just all right. I don't see what he's doing that. Listen, I don't want to be overly critical because I do think he's trying and he's gotten it out.
That's what I mean. I feel for him. Like he's trying so hard, and he played more. I think he played 12. I got here 12, 50.
No, they were really rolling 3 lines tonight. Like, kind of 4 again. They were this one felt like with the no penalties in the game that it was just more of a free flowing game, and that like Keefe was trusting the depth guys a little bit more.
Who was the guy that just wiped out? Riley?
Yeah,
that was Mike a weird
Riley.
One. That was a weird one.
He stayed down on the ice, and they had to call the play.
Like he just kind of like fell over, and then I was like, why'd they blow the whistle? And then they put the camera on him, and he was like in serious distress. It was a weird fall, so I hope he's all right. But that was a weird one.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it.
He had
for
a good
me,
game
bud.
too.
He did. He said his name a lot. Felt like the puck was on his stick a ton of the game.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I went, wait, how did you guys get this guy? And what did it cost?
On waivers.
Yeah.
You got him on waivers from the Bruins. Yeah.
I was like, wait, this is a waivers guy? Because he's kind of jumping around. Like he looks pretty good. I would have liked him.
Yeah, double Riley, little Riley connection.
Dude, I would have been thrilled with the double Riley.
Little R&R.
Yeah. I had enough trouble actually last year with Ryan O'Reilly and Morgan Riley. I just
it's like those poor Islander announcers when Pellick and Pollock are playing together. That's a nightmare. It's like who's who here?
That is a nightmare. All right, let's wrap this sucker up. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up for God's sake. There's like tens of thousands of you that watch this thing, and then there's only hundreds that hit the thumbs up. You cowards, hit the thumbs up. 2, if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, you can leave 5 stars, and it really does help us out, and it helps people find the podcast, and it lets people know that this is worth listening to. And then you can share it. If you see it on your socials, you can follow us there at JD Bunkis and at Sam A. McKee, and we will see you tomorrow night against the Rangers. Good test.